This is your year. Let me tell you how to start traveling in your 20s. We're gonna break this video down into 9 different steps. And each of those steps is just gonna help you get a little bit closer to getting your trip out this year. We got this. First thing, before anything starts, is you have to have the money for it. You can't keep spending the way that you're spending and also afford a trip if you haven't been able to so far. Shopping, cut it down. You don't need the new pair of jeans. You have 50 jeans at home that you don't wear, okay? Maybe we should get a Poshmark account and start selling the jeans that we don't wear. Or Facebook Marketplace and sell some of the furniture, all the stuff in your apartment that you're not even using. Write down that 1 month budget and figure out what it is, food, and what other discretionary purchases you're making that are cutting into your budget. Because you're gonna realize that you're spending a lot more money than you thought monthly on stuff you don't really need or you didn't really like. One of the big ones is gonna be eating out. You don't need to do that all the time. If you're prioritizing travel this year, you need to cut down on eating out and do activities with your friends that don't always involve spending a ton of money. The meal delivery apps will kill your wallet. They will kill your wallet. Delete them off your phone. The more you cook, the more you'll save. The other things that are gonna kill your budget is coffee. I don't drink coffee, so that's not a budget killer for me, but the amount of money you spend on coffee a month could be your Airbnb stay for a week in a certain country. Getting coffee outside of your home is going to be super expensive. Getting snacks on the go is going to be expensive. Buy them at the grocery store beforehand. Stick them in your car if you need to. I like to go out with my friends. But what we're going to do is we're going to be a little bit more strategic about how we're spending money. Let's go to somebody's apartment and we'll all bring our own drinks and we'll drink here first and then we'll go out to the bar and maybe have 1 or 2. Also, you can have bottomless brunch at home. We got liquor at home. We have food at home and we have snacks at home. Shopping. Spend less money buying artificial things that you don't really need. If you need a new pair of shoes because there's a hole in your sneakers, that's different. But if you're just buying jeans because they're cute, stop. Just remember that like your end goal is travel. If you need to make a vision board, travel. Right there on the wall every time you walk into your apartment. Stop going places where you need a rideshare app. What can you do to not be doing rideshare so much? I promise you, you're gonna look back and be like, how did I spend $400 this month on Uber? LinkedIn Premium subscription, that's like $40 a month. If you have subscriptions like that you're not actively using, that you wanna just take a break on, do that. I was doing Rover, ATN events, babysitting, tutoring, odd jobs, school, donating plasma, dog walking. House sitting. There are plenty of things that you can do that don't take skill. So many people want their dogs in your home. So if you don't have a pet, so many people will pay you a lot of money just to house sit their dogs for 3 or 4 days. ATN events is specific, I think, to major cities, but essentially what it does is they like hire you for one-offs. There might be some other agencies that pay for that kind of experience, but that was just one I found at my university and a way to make money. Selling plasma, if you don't like needles, it's not gonna work for you. They put a needle in your arm and they pull out blood. They pull the plasma out of your blood or your veins and give you your blood back. So you do it twice a week, every week. It'd be anywhere between $500 to $1,000 every month. That's good money. So if you don't mind needles, if you don't mind literally selling your blood, selling plasma might be for you. What I'm gonna tell you to do is make a list of some places you love, some places you really want to go to, some places you really want to see. Decide if it's the country or the city, because that will give you a lot of context too. Expand that list a little bit longer to maybe some more countries that you think would be in the more affordable range. Just do a basic Google of what's the average price of a meal. Go on Airbnb and see what's the average price of housing. So you can see what's feasible and not feasible for your trip that's a week, 2 weeks, whatever amount of time long. Because you might have dreams of going to Switzerland, but girl, grilled cheese is $25. So I'm not going to Switzerland anytime soon on the budget I'm on. I just want you to be cognizant of the fact that there might be certain trips that are better left for when you have a little bit more disposable income. You're generally gonna be better off in Eastern Europe if you're aiming for Europe, or Portugal. Spain is also pretty affordable, but Portugal is more affordable, and then Eastern Europe is even more affordable. Central and South America, there's a ton of areas within there. I know that's a big range, but generally speaking, your money is gonna go farther. Well, Southeast Asia is also a big chunk of area that your money will go really far. You could be a backpacker and really be on the budget thing, or you could be living comfortably in hotels or Airbnbs and still be fitting within your budget standards. going to a country where the accommodation, the flight, and getting around isn't gonna cost you that much will save you so much money. Everybody's always afraid, how do you deal with it if you don't speak the language? Google Translate. You don't even need cellular data. You don't even need cellular data. Okay, download Google Translate on your phone. When you're in the airport and you have Wi-Fi, you download whatever language you're at. Is it Tagalog? Is it Arabic? Is it French? Is it Mandarin? Download it. Your phone could be offline, airplane mode. It'll still work. You can take a picture of a menu, it'll translate it immediately. And then also if you need to communicate with someone, understand what they can type in, you can type in, you can figure that all out. So language barriers, not really a thing as long as you got a phone with Google Translate on it. If you're trying to navigate the language barriers, the basics, please, thank you, hi, hello. We gotta talk about accommodation. If you're backpacking, girly hostels. Most people are gonna be like, ew, no, or I don't know what that is. A hostel is going to be a shared accommodation. So think about your college dorm. It's essentially that. You're going to have the activities. You're going to have security. You're going to have mostly dorm style bedrooms. But before you log off, you can stay in pod capsule hostels. Or there are hostels that have dorms and private rooms. And you're still in the same hostel. You still get the events. You still get the security. You still get to meet other backpackers and travelers from all over the world. But you don't have to share a room. Check Hostel World. That's going to be your best bet. Do not book anything under 7 stars. The cheapest is not the best. The other thing about hostels is, generally speaking, they're in the center of town. Pay attention to where they are. You should be paying attention, but it tells you how far it is from the city center. And so you're gonna be able to access a lot of things in the town without a car or without transportation because they tailor to backpackers who are trying to save money. Hotels. They're great, they're fantastic. You've probably already thought of them. They're gonna cost you the most money and you don't really get a local experience. So they're not my favorite, but if that's how you wanna travel, that's cool. Budget that in. That is going to take up more of your budget. You need to be cognizant of that. Before you book the flight, you need to go look at the hotels that you're going to stay at so you can figure out how much money you have. And you want to stay somewhere in the center, otherwise you're going to be super far away at a hotel that was cheaper, but you have to pay $50 to Uber everywhere. Transportation will bite you in the butt, I promise you. If you don't have hotel money, but you don't want to stay in a hostel, Airbnb is perfect. Do not book an Airbnb where you have to do a handoff to get the key. It'll just save you so much hassle if you click the button that's like, I only want keys that I can access immediately, so that it's either a lockbox or a code or something. Just because handoffs get really annoying. If you're late, if they're late, what happens if like they're not around at the right time or you went to the wrong place? If you're with a group of people and there's only one key, then there's like 5 of y'all and y'all all want to do 5 different things, but who's gonna get the key? The last one is homestays. You can totally do a homestay. You could do a room in an Airbnb if that's another way to think about a homestay, but there are so many different opportunities to stay with a local family, and if you're really trying to dig into that culture, a homestay is gonna be the way to go. If you're solo traveling and you're trying to make friends, hostels are the best one. You're gonna meet backpackers. The people in hostels are gonna be foreigners who wanna learn about the country, who are interested in doing the nitty-gritty stuff, have a budget, and just wanna know more, interact with locals. If you can get in a Hostel World group chat, those group chats are where people are planning meetups. If you want to go grab drinks with someone, if you want to go on an excursion with someone, if you want to join the Instagram group that they usually push to, that is where you're going to get all that information. Facebook is a great place. Facebook groups, type in the country's name and then type in Erasmus. That'll give you 20-somethings that are traveling there. European students who are going on study abroad, they call it Erasmus. Type in the city name and expats, just type in the city name making friends, type in any travel group whatsoever, like travel girls, girls going solo, girls going abroad, travel besties, travel friends. Also type in there and be like, hey, I'm gonna be in this city in May. I'd love to like meet someone if you guys wanna grab drinks. And it's free. Use Instagram the same way you're using Facebook. You're not gonna find as many groups, but you might find Instagram's dedicated to Erasmus, Instagram's dedicated to expats, Instagram's dedicated to the tourism board, and just a few things you can do there. If you go to the country and you're signing up for activities via Get Your Guide, Viator, TripAdvisor, generally those group trips are going to be with other people. That is a great way to make friends, is just go on the activity. You'll meet the other people there. Go on a bar crawl if you're in a popular city via Get Your Guide, Viator, TripAdvisor, and there will be a ton of different people there that you can talk to and befriend and then go and engage with in other settings. Most of y'all girls pack too damn much. I promise you, you don't want to carry it on your back. You don't want to lug it around on the cobblestones. Stop packing so much. What you need, 1 bathing suit. If you're going somewhere where you're definitely going to swim, 3 max. They need to be, you can jump in the water and nothing's going to go flying. picnic blanket that also doubles as a sarong, that also doubles as a beach wrap, that also doubles as a towel. Like, they will come in handy so often. You want to aim for layers in your clothes. So if you bring a whole bunch of little thought tops, and then you have a jacket that you could put over, and then you have a sweater that you put over that, it'll give you a lot more space in your bag if you're just layering rather than bringing completely separate items. Aim for 1 to 2 pairs of jeans. Jeans take up a ton of space in your bag, and at the end of the day, especially if you're only going for a week or two, you don't need more than that. Figure out what kind of bottoms you're gonna wanna wear, how active you're gonna be on this trip, and cut it down. If you're still trying to decide, bring clothes that you're gonna donate anyways. Donate it before you go home so you have space in your bag for souvenirs. Bring an I don't care outfit. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have some sort of experience where you get a little dirty, or there's a potential to get dirty, or there's potential to get paint on you, and you don't want your clothes being too nice to take away from you just being able to experience something. The best way to do this is to go in the off season. But there are certain places you don't want to go in the off season because the whole appeal of them is in the on season, like the Greek islands. You want to go to Mykonos. If you go to Mykonos in the off season, there's going to be 1 hotel open, 1 bar open, and 3 restaurants open. Do your research on if you're there for the culture, if you're there for a certain experience, if you're there for a certain city. Do you want to go to France because you want to go to Paris, or do you want to go to France because you want to learn what like French life is like? Because if you're willing to leave a major city, your budget's gonna go a lot farther. When you go in the off season, you get a lot more of a cultural experience. So it depends on, are you traveling to take Instagram photos and eat at the nicest places, or are you traveling so that you can learn from a local, hear his backstory, and maybe meet his family? That is what you need to understand about how you're traveling so that you can pick where you want to travel to, when you want to travel, and for how long. Also, if you're gonna book your flights, about 6 weeks out, you're gonna get your best bet. Last minute flights are last minute expensive. Go to Google Flights, type in your major airport, and type in to anywhere, pick a month, pick a week. That'll give you the cheapest flights flying out to anywhere in the world. So just look at a list and be like, okay, well, it's $171 if I go to Oslo, Norway. It's $200 if I go to Mexico City. It's $1,000 if I go to Mauritius. The more flexibility you have in your dates, the more your money will go farther. Some of those flights are really cheap because you can't bring a carry-on. If you can't get your stuff in a backpack, don't book those flights. I know we talked about saving up for travel, but there's also saving while traveling. Public transportation. Do not get in that $100 Uber. And don't ever take a taxi. If there is another option to not take a taxi, don't take a taxi. Because they can make up any price, they can drive you anywhere, leave you on the side of the road unless you agree to the price. They could take you away and kidnap you. I just think it's better to be in an app where they're tracking you the entire time, and also the prices are regulated. I would recommend that you do public transportation when possible. Now, if you're in Cape Town, South Africa, the Ubers around the city are gonna cost you anywhere between $2 to $7. So it might make more sense for you to just Uber around. If you're in Florence, Italy, taking a tram is $1.90. I love to eat. I love a good cuisine. I love a little natural food. But if I'm going somewhere that isn't known for the food, it's not as much of a priority for me. If I'm going to Mexico City, if I'm going to Cape Town, if I'm going to Italy, yes, I'm coming correct. I'm coming with an empty stomach and an open wallet. But if I'm going to somewhere like Iceland, which is already super expensive, or they're not diverse in their cuisine options, then you should lean into cooking meals more often than eating out. It'll let you expand your budget and go to more places. Avoid buying tourist souvenirs at the tourist places. If you're in the most touristy part of town, you're always gonna be getting the worst price. Whew, my leg is acting crazy. Lean in again to affordable accommodation. The $1 million Airbnb is great, but you don't need it because you're gonna be out every second of the day. Like, you're only there to sleep. So why are we spending so much money on the accommodation? 9 times out of 10, if it's a $1 million looking bougie Airbnb and the price is unreasonably low, it's because it's in the middle of nowhere. Book in the center of town. If you're an American stepping out of the United States, a lot of these places have people who don't have cars. How do they get from place to place? The train station goes straight to the airport half the time. If you're really trying to make your budget stretch, then you gotta come correct. I hope this was helpful. Check out my page for more travel vlogs, and I've got a few trips coming up. So stay tuned because there will be a few exciting vlogs. Also, this was my first sit down video. So if you care, thanks for watching.